we've established the point that wisdom and folly are seated at the city gates, and that everything beyond that city gates, when it's talking about that kind of urban living, community living, that everything back behind it can be affected by wisdom and can also be affected by folly. So I want you to think this through with me so that we can just make this point together. So you're gonna hold it down. How many of you in the room work outside the home? How many of you in the room work inside the home? How many of you work outside and inside the home? This is one busy group, and I get that in every way. Anybody in the room have a relationship that is really trying you right now? Could I see your lights, please? Okay, any of you at your wits' end with a or members of your family? Okay, can I ask you a question? Does anyone in the room lack wisdom? All right. So see, this establishes it, because what I want you to understand with me today, remember, if you're thinking to yourself, you know, I'm in a creative work, I'm in graphic design, I'm an artist, I'm an interior designer, there really is no place, we're not really talking about something that affects that. Untrue. Do you remember that the first place we saw wisdom in action, the wisdom of God in action, and then we're seeing this personification of Lady Wisdom reacting to it and just watching what God does with his wisdom. Remember, the first context was in creativity. How many of you are retired? Can I just see your hands up, please? Retired. Listen, you need tremendous wisdom about what you want to do with your retirement. Tremendous wisdom. You're not done needing wisdom. You need tremendous wisdom. You need tremendous wisdom if you're grandparenting and you are so worried about how the thing's going that you don't know what to do. Anybody hear what I'm saying to them? There is no place you are not involved in the one kind of work that does not flourish under godly wisdom. If you're a fiction writer, what would happen if you really began to ask him, Lord, work a wisdom in me, a creative wisdom in me. Show me, bring me that storyline. Do you understand what I'm saying? Whatever it is, wisdom. We're going to ask him, and we're going to believe that we're going to receive it. Now, Proverbs 9, let's read Proverbs 9, verses 1 through 18, please. Wisdom has built her house. She has hewn her 7 pillars. She has slaughtered her beasts. She has mixed her wine. She has also set her table and sent out her young women to call from the highest places in town. I want to pause there just a moment because I want to talk about the 7 pillars. Let's put it to the side right now because it's going to distract us, and it's a beautiful thing anyway. Wisdom has built her house. I love the idea of building and honing, that she's honed her pillars, because it's conveying the idea of a progressive work. So often wisdom is that to us in Christ, in season to season to season to season, we are forever needing fresh wisdom. Last year's wisdom about what to do in that situation, it served us well, or either if we were in folly with it, folly betrayed us just as it always will. But we're not in that situation. We are in this one, and what will we do with this? So there's this progressive, this building, and then there's this honing, and it's all this picture of wisdom. Now, scholars say that the 7 pillars have been told to represent any number of things. Highest probability they represent the 7 pillars, since it's just talked about God in creation in the previous chapter. In all likelihood, it's probably talking about the 7 pillars being just the habitable world. that just the foundation of the world, that the way God created the world. There's another really, really good theory that maybe it is the 7 days of creation. And if that is so, I want to say this to you, because if that is so, wouldn't it be interesting if that seventh pillar is the pillar of Sabbath and rest? Because I'm going to tell you something. We are not going to be wise people if we don't know how to rest. Sabbath, we are not under the Old Testament law, but I will tell you this. We are still under the divine law of a body and a mind that needs to rest. Now, some people need to get up. But is that fair to say? Because some of us, we've got the rest thing going. We just hadn't gotten up in a while. But others of us, we need to lay down. Now, one of my thorns in the flesh is that I have a really bad back. And I have just dealt with it for years. And it just is anywhere on a scale of 1 to 10, and a level of pain. It just goes up and down and up and down. And I mean, I've had years in this last 10 years that it just never stopped. And it would be pain. And then it would be ache. Right now, I live with a really strong ache a lot of the time. And it's just part of my body. I just had another set of MRIs, and I could explain to you all the things kind of going wrong in it, but it just is something that I'm dealing with right now, praying for healing through it. And also, just if God does not determine in his wisdom to remove it, that it'll also be something that I'll be able to bear up under and be victorious through. So just all that weighing with the Lord. But one of the things that has come to me by way of help is a woman at my church who has scoliosis. Was able to learn medically some things she could do, some stretches she could do that would be good for the back. And they had brought her out of a life of pain. She said she lived in it all the time. And she said, I do not live in pain like I used to. So she is training me right now. So once a week, she comes to the office for 40 minutes, and I wear my little yoga pants, and we have a sort of what you might think of as holy yoga down there in one room of the ministry and the floor on our mats. And it's just one-on-one, and she plays godly music. A lot of it's just instrumental. But I need you to understand the atmosphere, because I go like this all the time. I talk fast, I walk fast, I run fast, and my idea of a workout is aerobics. I want my heart to beat fast. I do. I mean, we're just constantly. My music's up loud. That is the way I live. That is the way I'm happy. So when it's time for me, it's like they'll call me up in the office. Ann's downstairs waiting for you. So I'm like, I run down there. Well, all the way down there, my staff knows that they've got about 2 minutes while I'm getting down there. They ask me everything under the sun. They're literally walking beside me all the way in there. I go in there and I walk in where Ann is. I go, because Ann wants me to slow down. And she hardly talks at all, and she's very quiet. And I have to get in certain stretches, and I have to hold it for 3 minutes. The reason why I don't do it on video is because I'm not holding anything for 3 minutes. Only thing I'm holding for 3 minutes is my grandbabies. That's all I'm holding for 3 minutes. I'll hold them a whole lot longer than 3 minutes. I don't have time for stretching. Does anybody else understand what I'm saying to you? I don't have time for stretching. But she gets me in all these weird poses, and then I have to hold it. And then at the very end, I have to have 4 minutes on my back, 4 solid minutes, the longest 4 minutes of my life. She sits over me and watches me. 4 minutes where I just lay there to some really beautiful music. And she says, Beth, try to relax. She said, Beth, is your tongue pushing real hard in the roof of your mouth? I just want to go, what business is that of yours? She said, rest your jaw. Beth, I need you to rest. Could you rest and breathe? Anybody know what I'm talking about? Do you know why I keep doing it? We just keep doing it week after week. Because honestly, it has been one of the most revolutionary things I've ever done in my life. I don't know how it's doing for my body, but I'm going to tell you this. I never stop. And just to lay there and go, my God, I rest before you without sleeping. This thing right here belongs to you. Overtake it and apply every single scripture you have ever taught me to the health of my bones. Anybody know what I'm talking about? We got to have us some rest.
We hope you're enjoying this presentation of Living Proof. If you've ever considered joining others for an in-depth Bible study, well, Lifeway is offering a great way to get started. Beginning this month, you can register for the October online study of The Faithful, Heroes of the Old Testament. This is a fascinating 5-week study drawn from a variety of great teachers, like Priscilla Shirer, Jennifer Rothschild, Kelly Minter, Lisa Harper, and Beth Moore. Explore pivotal moments in the lives of 5 of our Old Testament predecessors. Walk alongside Gideon, Nehemiah, Esther, Hosea, and Malachi as they choose to obey God, whatever their circumstances. The online video content will come to you for free, but you'll need to register, and you'll certainly want a workbook. Visit our website now, and you can buy 2 workbooks, one for you, one for a friend, for only $20. The online study begins October 11th, so head to bethmore.org/TV and buy your workbooks and sign up for free, or join your neighbors for the study at your local Lifeway store.
I just want you to just get lost in Jesus this weekend, that you may be found in him. Listen, God has come here pursuing you. God is a God not only of time, but he is a God of timing. If you're in need of direction, I pray that he's going to give you some this weekend. If you're trying to make a really, really big decision, I'm praying you're going to get it in this house this weekend. You are in such a safe place here. So whatever your background, whatever this morning was like, last night was like, God is here to set you free. When God draws this many people together, he's with us. He is up to something, and it's big. It says in verse 2, I want you to get this with me. She has slaughtered her beast. She has mixed her wine. We're going like, well, that is absolutely gross. Absolutely gross. But it means for her table. It means like she's got the roast there on the table. Maybe the gravy. I love roast and mashed potatoes and gravy. So I'm picturing that. I'm picturing how it smells. She's mixed her wine. And for many Baptists, I feel absolutely sure that it's non-alcoholic wine. At the marriage supper of the Lamb, we're going to know, all the Baptists at the table, when the angels come to pour the wine and we all go. Okay, she has sent out her young women to call from the highest places in the town. Okay, you know what occurred to me? It occurred to me that sometimes wisdom will call out to us through someone else. Sometimes we'll reject the wisdom because we don't like who gave it to us. We don't like them. We don't care if it was good advice or not. We don't like them. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Like, you don't want to do it because they're the ones that told you you should. But sometimes wisdom sends out these people to make the invitation. Whoever is simple, let him turn in here. To him who lacks sense, she says, come eat of my bread and drink of the wine I have mixed. Leave your simple ways and live and walk in the way of insight. Whoever corrects a scoffer gets himself abuse, and he who reproves a wicked man incurs injury. Do not reprove a scoffer, or he will hate you. Reprove a wise man, and he will love you. Give instruction to a wise man, and he will be wiser still. Teach a righteous man, and he will increase in learning. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the Holy One is insight. For by me your days will be multiplied, verse 11 says, and the years will be added to your life. If you are wise for yourself. If you scoff, you alone will bear it. Verse 13 introduces back to us the woman Folly. The woman Folly is loud. She is seductive and knows nothing. Now, here's what I want you to see. Make the comparison back to Lady Wisdom, because this is fascinating. Watch how many things they have in common. When it says that the woman Folly is loud, she is seductive and knows nothing. See that she's loud, and we might think, well, Lady Wisdom is quiet. Well, no, wait. 8:1, does wisdom not call? Does not understanding raise her voice? What is the difference there between the two? We're going to try to discern it in just a moment. She takes a seat at the door of her house. She takes a seat on the high places of the town, calling to those who pass by. So here we've got wisdom, and here we've got folly, and both of them are making invitations. Now, when we're coming into that city gate, and we'll use that as whatever our current situation may be, where we could really use wisdom. When we're coming in, we don't always know the difference, because there are a whole lot of things that look similar. Both of them have set tables. Both of them are saying, come on in. Both of them are saying, if you're simple and need something, turn in here. It says, calling to those who pass by, who are going straight on their way. Whoever is simple, verse 16, let him turn in here. To him who lacks sense, she says, stolen water is sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant. But he does not know that the dead are there, that her guests are in the depths of Sheol. Folly indulges in security. Folly indulges in security. If there is anything we want to get through in the next couple of minutes in this room, it is that insecurity, girlfriend and guy friend. This goes for men and women both. Insecurity is not your friend. It is not your friend. It will betray you over and over and over again. Any decision you are making out of insecurity will lead you to folly. It will lead me to folly. Let me tell you something. We are just rife in our culture with jealousy and insecurity because of all our social media. Now, I love social media. I'm on a couple of different things. I'm not on a lot of it because I have to choose what I want to do and what I'm going to give my time to. The ministry is on Facebook in my behalf, but I'm not. All I do besides that is Twitter, and I do some blogging. The reason why I do Twitter, and this is what I'm talking about, sometimes we just got to figure out, what am I doing here, and what is it that sows into what I'm doing? Well, for me, Twitter, because it's about words and not pictures. A writer draws pictures not with a camera, but with words, and so I like that. But what it's done to us is that we're buying all this bull out there, and we're thinking everybody's living this big adventurous life. We have no idea that some of these really, really marvelous people are dealing with things like irritable bowel, post-nasal drip. You might know what I'm talking about. That they get stomach distress, and that's as far as I'm going to go with that. But I'm just saying, sometimes it really is important for us to understand that all of these things are in play. Lisa got the sweetest gift from somebody here for her baby, and in that darling little outfit, underneath it was a box of little drops for when babies get gas. And it's like, that just goes to show that they're so darling, so cute in their outfit, but they're going to blow that diaper out, and it's going to ruin that outfit. Blow that diaper out. You know exactly what I'm talking about, because this is real life. But we're just like rife with jealousy and insecurity, and it wouldn't take social networking. Listen, please just let me speak to this just a couple of minutes, because there are women in this room. I've been here, and this is why I want to talk about how miserable it is, where you're watching your husband to see if he's looking at someone. And man, it especially hits close to 40, because there's a little bit of a freak out going on there, and then you're looking to see, is he looking at someone? Is he looking at someone? Here, where can I sit in wisdom? Okay, listen, y'all. This is not going to be easy for somebody to accept, but I'm telling you right now, This is the only way to live unless you want to be miserable, unless you want to be absolutely miserable. I don't know if your husband is going to look at someone else or not. I don't know if he's going to look at them, and maybe that's all he's going to do. Or maybe if he's going to look and then he's going to want to touch, and he ends up being not only unfaithful of mind, but unfaithful of body and heart. I don't know what will happen. I hope none of that will happen. Much of what we fear never happens. But this is what I'm going to tell you. You can't stop him or control him with your insecurity. It won't affect any of it. Even if you harass him and say, it ruins dinner. Am I talking to anybody? It ruined your date because you were almost positive he looked at the young woman's legs at the next table. Is this the way you want to live? You say, but he was. I can't help it. You're going to be miserable if you do not get a grip. You're going to be miserable. What if you said to the Lord, you know what, Lord, if he's doing the wrong thing, have at him. Have at him. I'm going to tell you what submission is. I'm going to duck, as Dr. Evans said, I'm going to duck and let you hit my husband. Somebody, I need somebody. Have some relief today because it's not doing you any good. You are completely miserable and you're taking on omniscience because you're saying you can read his mind and you cannot read his mind. You may say, I can read his eyes. I know what a man of lust he is. You know what? At what point does your jealousy become as big a sin as his lust? This is ridiculous. We need deliverance. We need deliverance. For some of you, it's your girlfriends. Like you've got some friends. You are so jealous. You've got a really good friend that now is hanging out with another friend, and you think they're getting together without you. And you're all up in it. All up in it. The worship leader's acting like somebody. You were the one on the team. And now somebody else is getting to sing more than you are. It's no way to live. Jealousy and insecurity. Insecurity and jealousy will never endear anyone. Never. It's miserable to us, and people are repelled by it. Am I saying anything that's fair to say in the house today? We need deliverance today. We need deliverance. We need a confidence in who we have been called to be in Jesus. We are told in Hebrews chapter 10 in verses 35 and 36, do not throw away your confidence because it will be greatly rewarded. You need to persevere so that when you have done the will of God, you may be richly rewarded. Does anybody hear what I'm saying? Be confident. Who has he made you to be? Listen, we're so jealous of somebody else's gift, we have not developed our own. You know why? Because we're trying to develop their gift. We're trying to develop somebody else's gift. We have seen their gift, we have beheld their gift, and we are trying to develop their gift, and we are imitating their gift. And we had our own gift. We had our own gift. We had our own gift. If you are exactly like your mentor, I mean exactly, then I have some questions to ask you. Are you operating out of her gift or your gift? I might say it was the same gift. Hey, you know what? It may be the same gift, but it's on a different person with a different background, with a different strand of DNA, with a different history. You bring something marvelous to the mix. Use what you got, use what you got, use what you got. Look at one another and say, use what you got. Is that enough on jealousy and insecurity? You know, I will say this one more thing. I never despise myself more than when I'm letting myself go with some jealousy. Anybody? I hate it. It's my worst, it's my least favorite feeling inside myself. I'd honestly rather be, now not devastated, but I'd rather be a little sad, just a little sad. I'm rethinking this as I say this. But I hate being jealous. Die to it, die to it, die to it, die to it. Listen, if we don't get some quiet, we're not going to hear the voice of wisdom. We're not. Let me tell you, we're not going to get wisdom from God by checking our Instagram every 30 seconds. We're probably, listen, I love social media, but wisdom from God is probably not going to drop down from Facebook. As my friend Chris says, get your face in the book. I'll give you Facebook. Get your face in the book. That's you some Facebook, because we need wisdom. We're going to die one of these days. We're going to die one of these days, and we're going to have taken up all this time with noise.
Living Proof would like to send you a thank you gift for your donation. Visit bethmore.org/donate.